who has been especially helpful in planning the events of this entire weekend for us. Teresa Warquete, who is hospitalized, and is here today, 2 days after getting out of the hospital. She's been doing an online newsletter for our class for years. We're glad she's here, and we take a moment to remember those members of our class who are not with us anymore. For the past 10 years or so, the class of 1962 has been meeting once a month, very informally for dinner and chat on the third Wednesday evening. We've helped one another get past the dreaded 60 years old, and then unbelievably assisted one another with Medicare and Social Security. Thank God we were there for one another following Katrina, when so many lives were turned upside down. Our DHS sisters provided an outlet for us to laugh or cry or complain without judgment. During the past years, we approached this very important day. We talked about what we wanted to do to make it special. We knew that in the past, the 50-year classes always made a sizable monetary contribution to the school. Our class will continue to fund the Karen Graffinini Scholarship Fund, named for our deceased class president. But we really wanted to give Dominican something that Dominican had given to us, and that's an education. So our gift today is to educate DHS, let them know how we have spent our lives as women in today's world. We surveyed the class in many areas of their lives: personal, educational, professional, religious. We asked the girls to reflect on how they thought Dominican influenced the choices they made throughout their lives. So our donation today is one from the heart. The donation from the wallet will take place a bit later this year, so we can put the emphasis today on the lives of these women. We've traveled around the world. We've visited every continent except Antarctica. We've hunted big game. We've seen all of the United States. We live all over the country, and we wish that all of our classmates could have been with us today. We have educated hundreds of our children for thousands of cumulative years in Catholic schools. Our daughters and granddaughters have continued the DHS legacy. Our families have served on the board of DHS's board of directors. We have been decade representatives and members on the Alumnae board. We have had classmates on the Archdiocesan School Board. We have literally educated thousands of children by teaching in Catholic schools. Those women who chose to teach in Catholic schools say that they never considered teaching any other place. They knew that their roles would be to form Catholic ideals in children, and they wanted to be part of that. Some of our class also taught CCD classes for those children who were in public schools and needed instruction in the Catholic faith. We've taught students at every level of education. Our university professors have a rich history of success, not only in their own educational endeavors, but also in the successes they were able to impart to their students. Education has been a big part of our lives. We have doctors, lawyers, no Indian chiefs in our class, although we may have an ancestor of one of our classes. I must ask Lola Sixkiller. Continuing education has been a part of our lives for years, to help advance careers or simply to enhance our lives. Wonderfully, we have had some degrees earned much later in life for some of our class. Children had to be educated first, and then Mom got her chance. Service professions were widely chosen by this class. Nurses, medical techs, research labs have all benefited from the efforts of this class. We have had Nurses of the Year, Teachers of the Year, DHS Alumna of the Year, and Women of the Year in various disciplines and places. One of our beloved deceased members of our class began the first ostomy support group in Greater New Orleans. Again and again, we had women talk about how well prepared they were when they pursued their careers, both academically and with leadership roles. DHS played a big part in that preparation. We have nurtured the service aspect of our lives by having our sons and daughters and husbands serve the United States in military service. Some have given the ultimate sacrifice, and we thank them for all that they have given. The volunteerism evident in this group is so compelling, it's a wonder we had time for anything else. One class member alone has done 2,300 hours of volunteering in the past 10 years. Scouting, school volunteers, organizing local dance companies, nonprofit volunteers from A to Z, AIDS advocates to zoo docents. We've read for the blind, we've raised money for every imaginable medical cause, we've mentored, fed, and read to children and adults everywhere. Remember President Bush's 1,000 points of light? Yep. We have a point of light in the class of 1962. Some of you would never know this, but without the classmates of 1962, there may not have been a girls' track team in any Catholic girls' high school in the city. Two of our classmates organized the entire city's Catholic girls' track league, got Dominican competing with its own track team, and some of you younger girls, if you competed in track, thank this class for your chance. The area of the survey which stands out most completely is the area of religious life. We had the award winners, Regina Mottram, Order of St. Louis, Order of Malta. And what we saw time and again on these surveys were the girls who were leading lives of dedication to the church in quiet ways, praying with their families, serving the Eucharist in church and hospitals and homes, serving as lectors, teaching RCIA and CCD, serving year after year after year on liturgy committees and finance committees and co-op clubs, not just as members, but oftentimes as leaders, singing in choirs, leading the rosary, saying grace with their families, keeping the Advent wreaths, attending daily Mass, teaching children by example. We still go on retreat. Some of us go with our husbands, some of us go with our girlfriends, but we go, sometimes yearly, because we know we must feed our souls just as we feed our bodies. We shared these things with our communities because Dominican had taught us that we had an obligation to the world to become models for good. Many times that obligation took the form of service to the church. Our families have produced a deacon, a professed religious, and we are hoping for a priest. As a way of saying thank you, our class has commissioned a gifted artist to do a rendition of the campus at Broadway and St. Charles Avenue. We were the last graduating class from that campus, never having spent any time on Walmsley, and wish to have that campus remembered also. The gifted artist also happens to be a member of the class of 1962, Laurie Preller Abity. This gift will be for the school, but anyone who would like a copy can contact Laurie or anyone in our class to purchase one. So we say thank you, Dominican. Thank you for continuing to form young girls into instruments of good We are so proud to call ourselves graduates.